Sean, tell us about the Pacific.
Okay, the Pacific. Now, this came out, what, 2010, I think, after Band of Brothers.
It was
So
after Band of Brothers,
it
yeah.
was after Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers was like so successful and so good, and probably the best TV series about the Second World War, possibly ever. I think probably better than any film I've seen. That was actually. So this is the Pacific, and when it first came out, I thought, oh, this was good, and I did watch. So back in the day, I did watch a couple of episodes. I think probably was what looked at the first two. Now, as the episodes go on, it starts off in Guadalcanal, and one of the soldiers wins the Congressional Medal of Honor, and then he stops becoming he starts to sell war bonds, and he becomes popular in the States and all that sort of stuff. A bit like that Flags from Iwo Jima. Pardon?
Captain America does that.
Yeah, basically, yes. That's what I thought of. And then, so the Guadalcanal campaign finishes, and they go to Australia, and then there's a few romances and different things going on, and all that. And I think at that time I thought, right, well, I want to see action. You know what I mean? I want to see what the Pacific. So, but then after, I would say from the fourth episode onwards, it just becomes really, really good. It just becomes really spot on. They go about their, the small, all the small island hoppings they did, how terrible it was, and you've got obviously I think it's based on a couple of people. It's funny enough, Remy Malik, he plays somebody called Snafu, and then it gets good because you get like a group of combat vets, and things happen and all that, and it's quite graphic and it's quite bloody and it's quite violent. And then later on you get Okinawa, that was the place where, not quite the Japanese homeland because you're white and like civilians, so got really, really gritty. One of the episodes was where obviously PSTD or ST
PTSD
post PTSD, thank you very much. And goes in hospital, and there's that bit, and then he decides to go back. And you've also got the theme of the chap who won the Congressional Medal of Honor just wants to go back. He feels guilty, and he does actually go back. But you probably need to watch the thing to see what happens to him. So it was great. I really, really enjoyed it.
Sure. Can I just check something? You mentioned Rami Malek, and if I'm correct, Rami Malek is one of those actors that you don't always gel with.
I don't know exactly. Yeah.
And but I'm guessing that you started a point that you didn't finish. I'm guessing you're saying that, but you said, funnily enough, Rami Malek, and I'm guessing you were saying, funnily enough, Rami Malek is actually good.
Really good in this, yeah, really, really good, because he starts off as he's
Be quite young in this then, because
he is really young. Yeah, he's super young, but he's like they sort of meet up. Should we say he starts off not a nice character, and he takes the teeth out of any gold teeth and that, and he's quite and there's a scene in it, probably right now, when this sort of idealist that's joined the Marines is gradually getting more and more and more, and just like accepting the fact that this is what happened, and he goes, and Remy goes, or Snappy says, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, whatever you do, don't do it otherwise. But he's he's sort of deep down, although he's should we say a little bit obnoxious, he's also deep down quite a good character, and in the end he ends up bonding with the group and all that. And then the final episode, when the war's finished and all that, it just sees them on a train going away, and his mate's falling asleep and that, and he just sort of gets up and goes. Yeah, I was really, really surprised. So it's really worth staying with this. As I say, it doesn't particularly. Yeah, you've got the Guadalcanal campaign, and then it's a bit.
It doesn't come out of the blocks firing.
It doesn't come out of the blocks firing, but once it does, from episode 4 onwards, it's absolutely brilliant. It's really, really good, and I would put that quite high up with Band of Brothers.
All right, so the Band of Brothers and the Pacific were both made by. They were like a joint venture between Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And Sean, they're making a third one.
Tell me, what is it?
It's good. Masters of the Air.
Oh, I have heard that. Yes, Masters of the Air.
It's on Apple.
It's going to be on Apple TV, which I know that you have access to.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So
they're doing an episode a week, so it's like if you want to watch the whole thing, you probably have to wait till the middle of March. When all of it will be ready. But if you want to watch it an episode a week, then it's out. The first ones are out now.
I probably will wait until it finishes, because I think that's the whole thing. Because I remember, like with Walking Dead and Game of Thrones and all those. Game of Thrones, I did used to I did used to try and watch because that was.
Oh yeah, because everybody would talk about it and ruin it for you.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
You've got to watch it weekly.
Yeah, so I shall watch Masters of the Air then. That'll be quite good.
But before we do that, how many stars for the Pacific?
4 stars.
4 stars for the Pacific.
Yeah, big 4 stars, as I say. If the other, it took a while to get going, slow burn, but once it got going, I really thought it was well acted, and the scenes they're pretty nasty scenes in it. But I from what I've seen of the actual footage of the Pacific War, very, very realistic.
Good stuff. So 4 stars for the Pacific.